Hello there, and welcome to another episode of Cutting Through the Bullsht. I am your host, Dr. Stephanie Snyder, and I am a high performance mentor. Through my unique blend of strategy, mindset, and intuition, I help men and women to cut through the BS in order to create the life and business they desire. Welcome. It was a very busy weekend for me here in Virginia Beach. We had my son's graduation party, and it was so fun. It was real hot, but the rain did avoid us on Saturday for his party, so that was wonderful. A bunch of people showed up. We had a crawfish boil. We had seafood coming out of our eyeballs. So much food. Really a lot of fun celebrating, and had family in town, friends in town. It was really a great time, and totally exhausted. Totally exhausted. And then yesterday, because I'm recording this on Tuesday, the 15th, yesterday they started construction on my pool. So if you hear any large trucks in the background, I'm currently watching a bobcat move gravel into the backyard for the pool. My whole yard is absolutely destroyed, but I don't care. I love it. So excited that we got to this point and the pool is actually being put in. So very excited for that. But today, I wanted to talk to you today about the power of curiosity. And I was practicing some of it this weekend because with a lot of people in town, I could feel kind of reaching my limit. I am an extrovert, and so I do love being around people. But there also comes a time during the day in which I need to just kind of be done, right? Like I just need to kind of quit and check out. And so with people staying in the house and late nights and stuff, I just noticed that I was starting to cap out, and I could feel my patience start to waver. And so I just reminded myself, hey, let's be curious about this, right? Instead of leaning into this kind of blah mood, right? I was like, you know what, let's just lean back, let's be curious, let's see what happens. And I felt myself continuously remove the pressure of performing, of showing up a certain way, and actually ended up having a really great weekend with everybody here. But I want to bring up again this power of curiosity, because there are a lot of the times we have this perceived doubt or fear that comes through, and we struggle to move forward because it can be incapacitating, right? It's not a realistic fear. It's not something that's might necessarily, end your life, but there are these little things if I say this, how will somebody respond? Or if I show up this way, am I going to be too much? Or am I good enough to do this thing, right? And so these fears kind of show up. And when you can show up and take action from a state of curiosity, it actually becomes quite fun. And so then you start to ask yourself, okay, let's just be curious about this. What would happen if I did X, Y, and Z? Right? What would happen if I listened to this little nudge that made 0 sense? What would happen if right? And that power of curiosity will actually start to propel you forward because you've taken the pressure off of yourself. And as I was explaining to my son yesterday, right? If you've ever been near railroad tracks, my stepmother, previous stepmother, lived right next to railroad tracks. And so when I was little, I remember taking pennies and quarters and stuff and laying them on the railroad tracks before the trains would come. And when the train ran over it, because there was so much weight to the train and there was so much pressure and friction between the train and the rails, it would cause these coins to totally flatten, take on a different shape, sometimes take on a different color. And definitely their pictures were all distorted, but it reminded me of when we add this pressure to ourselves to perform, to show up in a certain way that's not in alignment, we create pressure to ourselves, and we actually deform ourselves, right? We create so much pressure that we can't actually show up in alignment. And so I find myself sometimes doing that when we have like a big event going on. When I'm trying to plan something and coordinate a whole lot of chaos, I can tend to put a lot of pressure on myself. And so this weekend was very strong intention of, I'm going to have fun. There's going to be no drama, right? I'm not going to take anything personal, right? Like if anybody says something kind of snarky and rude, I'm just going to leave it, not take anything personal. And that curiosity characteristic going into the weekend really, really helped. It ended up being a really great weekend. I had a lot of fun, and not a whole bunch of stress. There was plenty of time to do all the things, and I got to sit and like hang out as well, which was great. There was a lot of time buffers, and so I wasn't running around like a chicken with my head cut off. So it was really, again, a great weekend, but this power of curiosity is super helpful, because again, it takes off that pressure and allows you to step into that next space, that next level. And it falls in line with my joy of experiments, right? So if you've listened to previous episodes or you've hung around me long enough, you know that I like to do these little mini experiments where for 30 days I'll try this thing, or for 60 days I'll try that thing. And these little mini experiments can be really powerful because it takes you out of your comfort zone. You have this level of curiosity, which makes it fun and entertaining. And then at the end of it, you're like, oh, I guess it wasn't really that bad anyways. It was actually kind of fun, right? So one of the little experiments that I'm doing right now is I'm adding push-ups every week. I'm up to 28 push-ups a day. And I'm going to be transparent with you. There have been a handful of days that I've missed because I haven't done it first thing in the morning. I hold off until at the end of the night, and then I totally forget, and I've climbed into bed a few times doing it. But through and through, I have stuck with it. Even after missing Thursday and Friday this week, I picked it back up on Saturday. Did them yesterday. I'm going to do them again today. But I've released that pressure, and I've come into it with a level of curiosity. What could be possible for me if I did X, Y, and Z? And just give it a try. You're going to find out something about yourself. It's probably going to be fun. It's certainly not going to be full of pressure, right? So that is it for today's episode. I just wanted to come on here and encourage you to release some of the pressure, have some fun with it. And because I was reminded of that this morning when I was journaling, leaning in, trusting, and remember to have fun. Because if it's not fun, I know I don't want to do it. So I'm sending you so much love. Also, if you are interested, I do have a group program. I've talked about this on the previous episodes called Recalibrate. We are starting July 30th will be our first call. It is a 30-day program intended to, my tagline for it, I just lost the tagline. Get clear, get confident, and get consistent. And of course, have fun in the process because, well, if you're ready for that next level, those 3 things are key to getting there. So I am sending you so much love. If you have questions about that program, you can reach out to me, find me on Instagram, or head over to my website, stephaniesnyderphd.com. And I hope that you have an amazing rest of your day. And as always, be you, because the world needs more of you. Bye, love.